Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Amanda in Zone 8A in the Dallas, Texas suburbs, and today we will be cleaning out the rest of the tomatoes and getting ready for fall planting. So you don't want to compost your old tomato plants and actually none of your nightshades, even though I did my potatoes with I put my old potato plants on my bananas. I'm not sure if you're really supposed to, but nightshades tend to have lots of disease that can go along with them. And so you're not really supposed to compost them. So I am just taking off these little Velcro straps that I have supporting the plant. Once upon a time there was a spider on this plant, and I have not seen that spider in a couple days, so I'm hoping the spider moved on. I see a little spider right there, but that's not the spider I was talking about. It was a pretty big spider. So I am just pulling it out, folding it up, and putting it in the bag. I am cutting off little sections so it makes it a little bit easier. I'm just going to leave the root in there to just compost in the bag. It's not ideal, but I can't really pull it out either. So here's a sun gold tomato that I missed harvesting. So I'll go ahead and just eat that. So the sun gold plant, even though it still has tomatoes on it, has definitely outgrown its trellis system. The tomatoes I've been getting off of this plant now are definitely small. So I just want to have a reset, start over. Obviously I stopped pruning it once it got really big, which is not ideal for the plant either. Because look at this. Oh, there's another one that I missed. I am terrified of the grasshopper that I know is in this area. He's like this big, and I know he can't hurt me, but I'm still scared of him. So I have learned my lesson, only one tomato plant per bag. All right, let's work on this one. What is this one? I think this is a Paul Robeson. This is the Dr. Witchies, and I thought I would leave it, but I think I'm gonna just rip it out because the start I have over there is looking a lot healthier. This one never did produce any tomatoes for me. So hopefully in the fall, the start that I have will produce tomatoes. This is the hybrid greenhouse tomato, which also never produced any tomatoes for me. And this is the carbon tomato, which I think I might have had a couple tomatoes from this one. Now this Rio Grande tomato, well, it still has tomatoes on it. I have not been having much luck of them actually tasting good. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this plant. And just so you know, it is one of the hardest things I have to do is pull out plants that still have fruit on them. Just every bone in my body says, I shall leave it. But since it didn't taste good, and I have tomato starts that need to be planted, I really do need to pull them out. All right, so this is a sun gold, and then I have a Paul Robeson left. Okay, did not mean to pull out the barrage, but I did, so. This one I accidentally cut the string, so I'm just gonna tie the string back on. All right, I think we need a new bag, and we still have the tomato plants over by the grapes and over by the tomatillos. I never know how to open these bags. We will be removing this tomato plant. This was my mystery one. I don't know which one it was. All right, so that's all the tomatoes. Got them pulled out, finally. Okay, so I have some bags that are not all the way full. So I'm going to add some soil, compost, and vermiculite to get them somewhat more full, and mainly because I'm tired of the bags sitting in my yard. Add the mushroom compost. Okay, so I think one of the first things I'm going to do is take out these old labels. There you go. Just adding a scoop of the compost to these bags. I'm just going to add some vermiculite. I'm just going to mix this in just a touch. I do want to try to take out the fallen tomatoes, such as the single that has fallen, because I don't want volunteer plants in my bags. I'm just going to put in this empty bag. So now I'm just adding the Happy Grow organic potting mix. I got this at Lowe's. Let's see if I can mix up that compost and vermiculite into this potting mix, which already has compost and vermiculite, but all right, so down here I have my seedlings. And I'm going to pick the best one to plant. So I should have 3 containers that have the same plant. So these 3 are all 3 celebrity tomatoes. I want to plant the healthiest looking one, which I think is this one over here. So these other 2, I'm just going to set aside. Going to tap it out. See the root ball here? We will be planting it right here. So I'm just going to dig a hole. I can plant the stem too. So I want it to go way down. And it's hard to do that with a tripod. It's way down there, and I'm just going to cover the rest of the tomato with the soil. And all of that I buried will become a root. Now I need to write my label. Got the label. So these are the 3 San Marzano ones that I have. I think this is probably the best one, so that's the one I'm going to plant. Now I could tease these apart, but more than likely I'm just going to pinch them off so we just have one plant. But I'm going to wait until after I plant it to do that. Make sure I don't accidentally snap the stem. Okay, so Cherokee Purple. So one of them didn't sprout. And then I have these other 2. So I think I'm going to plant this one. Here's the old root ball. I'm just going to put that on the side here. Now we have our Cherokee Purple, and dig down. You know what, in this one I might actually try to tease these apart. This is such a good looking tomato plant. Let's see if we can get these separated. Might plant 2 of them, not in the same bag. There we go. As deep as we can get it. And we will go ahead and plant this other one. Definitely want to remember to pack it down a little bit, make sure there's no air pockets there. Got our labels. These are Cherokee Purple. All right, move right along. My favorite tomato from last time was the Paul Robeson, so I definitely want to plant 2 of these. I'm thinking the ones from here are looking the healthiest, so I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to plant these in these 2 bags over here. This is the one I did have the lemon boy in. I have all these Velcro things I need to straighten out and bag up to use later. Again, we're just going to separate these, so these separated really easily. We're gonna bury it as far as we can, leaving some leaves out. And this whole thing will turn into roots. I still have some room in these bags where I can add more soil as the tomato plant grows. I've got my old labels. Okay, so these are my Dr. Witchies. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Looks the healthiest. I'm going to plant it in the bag that I had the Black Beauty in. So we're going to plant this Black Beauty tomato in this container. So I'm just going to dig in here, and I think there's a root here, so I either need to dig out the root or plant it not quite in the center. So I'm gonna plant it over here. There are multiple plants, but you can see like these 2 aren't looking very good, so I'm just going to pull these off. And we will plant this one as deep as we can. And push the dirt around. And this is a Black Beauty, and I have my label. So I planted a Roma tomato in this container in the center. And this one I planted the Orange Hat, which is a determinate variety. Remember, determinate varieties don't get very big. Roma is also determinate. So they have a determined size and fruit production. This is a Plum Regal tomato, which is also a determinate. And for here I have a Container's Choice, which is determinate. Another Plum Regal, it's also determinate. A Plum Regal, and another Plum Regal that I planted. So I planted a lot of Plum Regals. I just had, my seedlings were doing really great for Plum Regal, so I just planted the ones that were doing awesome. This is my Constelluto Genovese tomato. It's indeterminate, so it will just continue to grow and grow and grow. And over here, I have my Amish Paste tomato, which is a indeterminate. I did end up moving my Celebrity tomato into one of the smaller bags because I found out it was a determinate, so I moved it to the smaller bag. Then over here, I have a Black Cherry, which is an indeterminate. It's a cherry tomato. Sun Gold, which is also a cherry tomato, and indeterminate. Over here, I have a Container's Choice, which is a determinate. So the determinate ones I'm trying to put in the small bags, the indeterminate ones are in the big bags. Then we just planted this one, the Black Beauty tomato. The Mountain Magic tomato, which is a new one for me. Lots of these are new for me. Brandywine we're gonna try again. Didn't have much luck in the spring, so we're gonna try it in the fall. The San Marzano, gonna try that one, also indeterminate. Cherokee Purple in the back. And this one right here is also a Cherokee Purple. And we have a Dr. Witchies or Witchies, which is also indeterminate. And then we have the Pineapple tomato. I actually did put 2 tomatoes in one bag. This is the only plant, or the only bag that has 2 tomatoes, just because I thought I might have snapped the stem of the one that's in the center. So if I did, I have the second one right there, and they were in the container together. So I just planted them both. I'll see if the one in the middle makes it. If not, then I have that one. I do also have the other seedlings. I have a Paul Robeson and a Paul Robeson. And then I have another Plum Regal tomato, which is determinate, and a Roma tomato, which is determinate. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified when I post new videos.